Reed Farrel Coleman is the author of the Moe Prager series, the Gulliver Dowd series, and numerous short stories and poems. An intuitive writer, Coleman is not the type to write from an outline.
I always say, see the tush of my pants, they're shiny, because I've done 25 books without an outline. I'm not saying people shouldn't outline. I know that there are people who do, and it's really successful for them, but it's just not for me, because once I've written an outline, I feel like I've already written it. So all the excitement is gone. So my philosophy has always been, if it surprises me, if it entertains me, and I don't know quite what's coming, it will work the same for the reader.
Coleman has written over 25 novels and is a 3-time Edgar Award nominee. He also won the Shamus Award for the Best PI Novel 3 times. When author Robert B. Parker died, Coleman was asked to continue Parker's successful Jesse Stone series, an offer that came with challenges.
It's an interesting thing. It's a challenge, right? Because I'm a different writer, writing for a very famous writer, and I'm a writer writing a character I didn't create. So that creates all sorts of challenges, but I'm from Brooklyn, I like challenges. So the real challenge was deciding what my approach would be towards the writing, and B, how would I get into a character I didn't create. Second part first. Getting into a character I didn't create was a matter of finding the doorway into the character. And the way I found that doorway was, Jesse was a baseball player, and I've always been a bit of a jock. So I could relate to him on the athletic level. And that Jesse was one phone call away from being the starting shortstop of the Dodgers, and until his shoulder was ruined in a meaningless exhibition game in Pueblo, Colorado. And so Jesse has this big what if hanging over his head. And guess what? Every one of us has a what if question in our lives, right? What if I had married this person? What if I had turned left instead of right? What if I had gone to this school instead of that school? So it's easy because that makes Jesse human, and that's one way to get into him. The other is that Jesse struggles. Jesse struggles with alcohol. I don't struggle with alcohol, but I struggle. We all struggle. It's what makes us human. So that was the secret of getting into Jesse, was finding the humanity in him and following it into him as a character.
Once he determined how to write the character, Coleman had to determine how he would write the books. His solution came from an unlikely source, Elvis Presley.
I had a conversation with a very close friend of mine, a fellow writer named Tom Schreck, because Tom was a huge, huge Parker fan. So it made sense for me to talk to him about it, and he loved Jesse Stone. And he said something that absolutely determined how I would write the series. Tom said to me, you know, Reed, not only am I a huge Parker fan, but I'm a huge Elvis Presley fan. He said, I've seen the best Elvis impersonators in the world, but there's something you can never escape, is it's an impersonation. And he said, and the impersonators, no matter how good they are, can never do something new because they're trapped doing impersonation. And when he said that to me, I said, okay, I know how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to try and imitate Bob Parker's writing, because the readers will see it as what? Imitation. And I didn't study my craft for as long as I did to do bad imitations of a famous writer. So it was agreed that I would have the characters act consistently with how they had always acted, but that I didn't need to copy Bob's voice.
Creating individual voices is an important part of Coleman's writing style.
I've never found two people who really sound alike. And when I do dialogue, I'm really careful to distinguish between each character speaking, because people don't speak alike. My voice and my brother's voice and one of my nephews and my sons, we sound alike, but we don't speak alike. And one of the telltale signs of bad writing is when all of the speaking characters sound alike, which is like saying, hi, there's an author here writing all of this. And I always want the readers to feel these are real people speaking.
BCPL spoke with Coleman at the Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity Con in Columbia, Maryland. The annual conference brings together writers of all levels to discuss the craft of writing and share tips and ideas. Details on the conference can be found on their website, creaturescrimesandcreativity.com.